two single barrels from the same family, but oh so different. Here we have the Jim Beam single barrel, 108 proof. This is the single barrel version of their world famous white label, that's 80 proof. Just an upgraded version, aged approximately 5 to 6 years, but still part of that baseline Jim Beam, and really just a little bit higher proof and a little bit more age than the white label. Here we have the Knob Creek Single Barrel Select Cask Strength, one of their newer ones from their cask strength versions of the Single Barrel Select, 126.5 proof. So that's, quite a bit more in proof. What is it, around, 18 proof points higher than this Jim Beam. And this is from the Jim Beam Small Batch Collection, Knob Creek being one of those, along with you have the Basil Hayden, the Bookers, and the Bakers. And this one has quite some more age to it. This one is aged almost 10 years. It's about 3 months short of 10 years. And obviously, again, a lot more proof. So you have single barrel from their baseline Jim Beam, single barrel version of the white label, and their small batch collection, Knob Creek Single Barrel Select Cask Strength. We're not going to blind these. They're quite different. Obviously, I can pick this out from that, but I want to just put them side by side and see the differences. What I do know, and what I believe, I'm going to confirm this now, I feel that the Jim Beam drinks a little thin. This has a more viscous mouthfeel, along with the proof, and of course, the age being, about twice as much. Let's pour them up and see the difference. Okay, so we have these poured up, and also bear in mind, the price is different. This I got for $39. Generally, they run as high as $42. They're generally in that. Just call it around $40. This runs, this ran me $65, but in some stores it's $79 when you see the cask strength. But the general single barrel selects was call it in the $60s. So let's call this $65, call this $40. So this is $25 more. In my head, is it worth the $25 more? I think yes, but we're going to see for sure now. I think if you look at the color, it looks close here, but I am seeing this is a little bit darker, which would make sense with about twice the age. Again, if I call it 5 to 6 years old, call this almost 10, 5, 10, so about twice the age. So with that, I think there's going to be a lot more with this. Let's give the Jim Beam single barrel a nose. And now the Knob Creek. More intense nose coming out of this one, but let's see the all-important taste. Jim Beam single barrel. Cheers. Knob Creek Single Barrel Select Cask Strength. Yeah, this is just, the Knob Creek is just a grown-up version of this. It's same family. You do get those typical Jim Beam notes on both, but the palate is half of what this is. The palate on the Jim Beam, and you know what, I'm going to be honest with you, for $39, it's not bad. It's one of the cheaper single barrels. And I don't think the Jim Beam single barrel is bad. It's certainly better than the white label. I do like the 7-year and the Winter Reserve. But for $39, single barrel 108 proof, that's not bad. It's just not this. And here's to show that it could be the same distillery, the James B. Beam Distillery. These both are single barrels. This is obviously a store pick single barrel. This is just general single barrel from Jim Beam that they pick the barrels themselves. Here as stores pick it. But whether they be, first of all, the age, twice as much, positioning, what warehouses they put them in. There's a whole bunch of stuff with that. And there's just different aging and different care, I guess, that going into the small batch line versus the general baseline. So I'm going to do this again, but basically thin palate, thicker palate, and obviously the proof being different, but it's not just that. It goes beyond that. There's definitely a factor of the twice as much aging and obviously placing of the barrels. There really is about twice the thickness and the viscosity in the mouth of this one. So, again, call it 40, call it 65. Obviously, between the two of them, you certainly would go for this one. It would just make sense. But if you do like the lower proof and the lower price, for $39, this wasn't a bad buy at all. But both really good, both really different. Cheers.